Chapter 21-26. The Ghost Race Should Reappear. As the War Saint Lord had said, on the way back to the army, Lin Mohan's name had already spread. Originally, people only knew of a beautiful and unparalleled fairy Han, but now she had gained the title of an unrivaled female sword immortal. Although most people did not know how strong Lin Mohan was, those at the Transcendent Realm knew, and some peak godlords were also aware. She was someone who had killed the Abyss Demon Lord with one sword strike. Although she had just entered the Transcendent Realm, she possessed the combat power of a Saint Lord. Some people knew more about Lin Mohan, understanding her relationship with Lin Moyu. These people were even more shocked, realizing that both siblings were extraordinary. Now it seemed that the elder sister was even more formidable than the younger brother. At such a young age, she had already reached the Transcendent Realm, and her combat power was comparable to that of a Saint Lord. If she became a Saint Lord in the future, it would be unimaginable. In the royal city of the abyssal demon lineage of the demon race, the Abyss Demon Lord let out a terrifying roar, and the abyssal fire boiled violently. The entire planet was covered in volcanic eruptions, and the planet quickly turned dark green.
Who are you? Who exactly are you? How can the human race have such a strong transcendent?
The Abyss Demon Lord was on the verge of madness. His first avatar had been killed, and it had died so swiftly that it had no chance to resist. Although the first avatar did not possess powerful treasures or original techniques, it still had the combat power of a Saint Lord, more than enough to deal with the Transcendent. But now it had been killed in one sword strike by a Transcendent. The death of the avatar directly led to the failure of the battle that had been prepared for years. The Abyss Demon Lord's fury swept through the entire star system, and the abyssal fire continued to erupt, turning the star system into a sea of fire. Countless weak demons were burned to ashes by the abyssal fire. In the central divine palace of the divine city, the heavenly Saint Lord and the house Saint Lord stared at each other. In front of them, a scene was replaying. It was the scene of Lin Mohan easily killing the Abyss Demon Lord with one sword strike. The house Saint Lord held a teacup for a long time, forgetting to drink, murmuring,
"The younger brother is a little monster. The elder sister is a big monster."
The heavenly Saint Lord was no better off, saying,
"Just entering the Transcendent Realm and already having such combat power. I feel like we old guys are all useless."
The house Saint Lord agreed.
"Indeed, we are a bit useless. That sword strike, even I would have a hard time taking it."
The heavenly Saint Lord said,
"But it seems she only has the strength for one sword strike. After she slashed out that sword, her aura dropped significantly."
The house Saint Lord's sharp eyes also noticed this detail. After slashing out that sword, Lin Mohan still appeared strong, but her power had been greatly depleted. So she did not go after the Black Golden Saint Lord and the Blood Bull Saint Lord, instead turning to kill other Transcendents. It should be said that she did not have the strength to slash out a second sword, so she chose to retreat. Otherwise, with the cooperation of the War Saint Lord or the Sword Saint Lord, they could have killed another Saint Lord. The House Saint Lord said,
"Even if she only has the strength for one sword strike, it's enough. When she grows a bit more and reaches the Saint Lord realm."
His eyes were full of smiles, as if he could see the moment of the human race's final victory. The heavenly Saint Lord said,
"It's not that simple. The strong races have their foundations, and those guys are not easy to deal with."
The House Saint Lord was in a great mood.
"No matter what, our human race has gained another top-tier combat power, and that's a good thing."
Indeed, the human race had gained another combat power equivalent to a Saint Lord, which was a good thing. Originally, the number of Saint Lords in the 100 Race Alliance exceeded that of the human race. Now, with the addition of another Saint Lord combat power to the human race, and the death of the Abyss Demon Lord's first avatar, the gap had been significantly narrowed, which was indeed a great thing. Both of them knew that the battlefield would likely be peaceful for a while. Not only the battlefield in the Vermilion Birdstar region, but also the other 3 battlefields would be much more peaceful. After this major defeat, the 100 Race Alliance would inevitably retreat and regroup. Taking advantage of this opportunity, the human race could continue to train its people. Unconsciously, the human race had turned the battlefield into a training ground, a place to cultivate geniuses. Time passed day by day, and as the heavenly Saint Lord and the House Saint Lord had predicted, this major defeat dealt a severe blow to the morale of the Hundred Race Alliance. In the following decades, they did not make any major moves. Small-scale battles continued to occur, with the human race maintaining a record of more victories than defeats. Both sides seemed to have reached a special tacit understanding, maintaining a balance and waiting for the next major battle. It could be predicted that when the next major battle broke out, its scale would surpass the previous ones. 20 years passed in the blink of an eye, and Lin Moyu finally stopped. He had been drawing runes all this time, and the process of learning the inheritance was the process of drawing runes. The Saint Rune Heavenly Lord emphasized practice, and all theories were prepared for practice. According to the Saint Rune Heavenly Lord's philosophy, a rune master must continuously draw runes. When a rune has been drawn billions of times, even the least talented person will become proficient. The principle is that practice makes perfect, but the Saint Rune Heavenly Lord explained it in a more grandiose way. His philosophy also aligned with Lin Moyu's thoughts, as Lin Moyu also enjoyed practice. To outsiders, it seemed he had been in seclusion for 50 years, but to him it had been a full 1,200 years. Lin Moyu did not know how many runes he had drawn, countless. The vast space in the treasure ship's warehouse was half filled. In the space of the cultivation room, runes of various sizes and levels floated everywhere.
The Tao poison has finally completely disappeared. I have also mastered all the rune knowledge below the ancient runes. 1,200 years, time flies.
Lin Moyu felt the changes in himself. This was his longest seclusion, and he felt as if he had aged significantly. 1,200 years had left marks of time on him. Lin Moyu truly felt the power of time and understood what it meant to cultivate without the passage of time. For those at the God Lord level, seclusion for 1,000 years was commonplace. During seclusion, they used formations to accelerate time. After seclusion, the great world would automatically correct the time, erasing the marks of time and not affecting their lifespan. Otherwise, with a lifespan of only 20,000 years, a seclusion of 1,200 years would take up a significant portion. And his cultivation level had not improved at all, making such seclusion naturally not worthwhile. The time formation slowly stopped, and the flow of time returned to normal. The power of the great world permeated in enveloping Lin Moyu. 1,200 years of rune cultivation had made Lin Moyu's soul even more sensitive than before. Lin Moyu could clearly feel the great world helping him, erasing the marks of time. To the great world, only 50 years had passed for him, not 1,200 years. At this moment, Lin Moyu felt a sense of warmth. This feeling could only be sensed by someone with an extremely sensitive soul like him. To others, it would seem like an illusion. With a wave of his hand, countless runes in the cultivation room flew up simultaneously. Some disappeared, dissipating automatically, while others flew into Lin Moyu's hand and entered the treasure ship's warehouse. After 1,200 years of living with runes day and night, Lin Moyu was extremely familiar with them, able to control them as easily as his own limbs.
The ghost rays should reappear.
Lin Moyu murmured to himself, his eyes filled with a cold smile. A beam of light descended from above, and the cultivation room transformed, making Lin Moyu feel as if he were in the starry sky. 2127 2127. Chapter 21-27. Do what you think is right. A grand battle unfolded right before Lin Moyu's eyes, and his pupils contracted sharply as he saw Lin Mohan.
Big Sister is on the battlefield.
The Human Emperor Network presented the battle from 20 years ago right in front of Lin Moyu. From the moment he saw Lin Mohan, Lin Moyu's attention was entirely focused on her, with nothing else in his mind. At this moment, he had only one thought. As long as Lin Mohan was safe, the outcome of the battle seemed unimportant. Lin Moyu realized that he was actually quite selfish. As long as Lin Mohan was unharmed, he didn't care about the lives of others.
Is this human nature?
Lin Moyu suddenly began to understand those heavenly lords. When the great world was in good shape, the heavenly lords could do many things for it, even make some sacrifices. But when their own lives were at risk, the heavenly lords could become selfish. Whether it was the illusory mist heavenly lord or the Saint Rune heavenly lord, they could abandon even little mist to save themselves. And they found reasons to convince themselves. He never thought of escaping the great world, nor was he trying to save all of humanity within it. He was simply selfishly trying to do something for his family, his loved ones, and his friends. There were things he couldn't let go of here. So from the beginning, Lin Moyu had firmly chosen to stay. In the projection, the battle began, and Lin Mohan's opponent was none other than the Abyss Demon Lord. Lin Moyu's entire body tensed, and his relaxed muscles instantly tightened. Lin Mohan was actually facing the Abyss Demon Lord. Even though Lin Mohan had reached the transcendent realm, the Abyss Demon Lord was a Saint Lord. Lin Moyu wanted to ask why let Lin Mohan fight the Abyss Demon Lord. But Lin Moyu knew in his heart that since the Human Emperor Network was showing him this projection, Lin Mohan must be fine. In the image, Lin Mohan drew the heaven and earth sword, and in an instant the projection became dazzling, with the sword light covering billions of miles of the starry sky. As Lin Mohan struck, the flames on the Abyss Demon Lord's body completely extinguished, revealing a look of terror. In the sword light, the Abyss Demon Lord was shattered into pieces.
So strong!
Lin Moyu was shocked. Lin Mohan's sword strike was incredibly powerful, almost absurdly so.
What realm is my sister in?
Lin Moyu knew his elder sister had always been strong, mainly in terms of her cultivation speed. He didn't expect that not only was her cultivation talent ridiculously strong, but her combat power was also absurdly high. In that instant, Lin Moyu felt that his sister's realm had already reached the Saint Lord level. The projection disappeared, and the voice of the Human Emperor Network sounded.
Lin Mohan is currently at the early stage of the Transcendent Realm, with combat power comparable to a Saint Lord. This is something she asked someone to bring back for you. And she has a message for you.
Lin Moyu asked.
What is it?
Suddenly, Lin Mohan's voice echoed around him.
Little brother, don't worry about your elder sister. Just do what you think is right.
This was the message Lin Mohan had someone bring back. From the voice to the tone, it had Lin Mohan's signature style. Lin Moyu pondered this message and asked,
Did you tell her?
The Human Emperor Network responded,
Yes, she has the right to know.
Lin Moyu asked,
Didn't she say anything?
The Human Emperor Network said,
She said she believes in you. That's all? That's all.
Lin Moyu suddenly laughed.
That's just like my elder sister.
Lin Mohan's reaction was exactly as he remembered her. Do what you think is right, meaning that no matter what choice he made, Lin Mohan would support him. It was also telling him that she would do what she thought was right. Lin Moyu took a deep breath.
I understand. Is there anything else you need to tell me? There is.
The Human Emperor Network once again projected an image, filled with information about the battle realm.
This is the information obtained from the Heavenly Saint Lord's recent spirit journey. You can take a look.
Lin Moyu nodded and began to carefully examine it. Mountain moving, sea dividing, earth splitting, sky patrolling, and the strongest star. In addition, there was the legendary Battle Emperor. At the end of the battle realm information, the Human Emperor Network also included several possibilities it had analyzed. After reading, Lin Moyu couldn't help but murmur,
It seems that no matter which outcome, it's not very good.
The Human Emperor asked.
What do you think?
Lin Moyu said,
I think if it's the second possibility, it would be the best outcome for us.
The second possibility analyzed by the Human Emperor Network was that there were no heavenly lords in the battle realm, and their so-called Battle Emperor was just a peak supreme being. In this case, it would be much better than the first and third possibilities. If there were heavenly lords, the great world would have no chance at all. If the battle realm was a legacy left by a powerful being, it might attract that powerful being, and the great world would still be doomed. So Lin Moyu believed that if it was the second possibility, it would be the best outcome. Lin Moyu said,
No matter which possibility, We can only take it one step at a time, do what we should do, and leave the rest to luck.
The Human Emperor Network said.
You're right. I have one more thing to tell you, and you can decide what to do.
A star map unfolded, showing 6 scarlet points of light.
After years of exploration, we have identified these 6 places as the 6 most dangerous ancient ruins. Based on the information we have, these 6 ancient ruins may contain the remains of peak supreme beings or even heavenly lords.
Lin Moyu's eyes narrowed.
Are you saying that heavenly lords died in ancient times?
The Human Emperor Network said.
Based on the information we have, it is highly likely that heavenly lords died in battle.
Lin Moyu had thought that all the heavenly lords had left, but it turned out that some had died in battle. It seemed that not all heavenly lords were selfish. Some truly fought for the great world until their deaths. Lin Moyu said.
You want me to go there and find the remains of a heavenly lord?
The Human Emperor Network was straightforward.
With your techniques, if you can obtain the remains of a heavenly lord, even if the battle emperor in the battle realm is a heavenly lord, we will have a chance. However, these 6 ruins are extremely dangerous. Saint lords have died in them before. Whether to go and when to go, it's up to you.
Lin Moyu said.
Let me see the information on these 6 ruins, as well as other ancient ruins. I want all of it.
The Human Emperor Network said.
You already have access. You can view it at any time.
The projection disappeared, and the Human Emperor Network also left. Lin Moyu did not move but began to examine the information on ancient ruins. Although the Human Emperor Network said it was up to him to decide whether to go, how could he not go? He definitely had to go, but when to go would depend on the situation. As Lin Moyu studied the information on ancient ruins, he gradually understood their origins. Ancient ruins were actually evolved from the rule worlds of supreme beings or heavenly lords. He had entered rule worlds of supreme beings more than once, but those rule worlds were intact, with orderly rules. However, the rule worlds of ancient ruins were shattered, losing control and becoming chaotic. Over the long years, the chaotic rule worlds continuously evolved, creating various dangers. The stronger the rule world, the more dangerous the evolved ruins. The 6 ruins were extremely dangerous because the rule worlds that evolved them were too strong. According to Lin Moyu's speculation, they must have been peak supreme beings' rule worlds at the very least. One of them might even have been a heavenly lord's rule world, with unimaginable danger. By studying other ancient ruins, Lin Moyu made inferences about the 6 major ruins and had some understanding. 2128, 2128. Chapter 2128. Little Mist's Great Blessing. One day later, Lin Moyu left the cultivation room, and the Human Emperor Network intervened in reality, directly opening a teleportation for Lin Moyu. The Tao poison had dissipated, and Lin Moyu could once again engage in enlightenment. Using the power of enlightenment to cultivate the laws of time and space could save a lot of time. The laws of time and space cannot be cultivated within a time formation, so each advancement requires a significant amount of time. 1,000 years? Even 2,000 or 3,000 years might not be enough. Lin Moyu didn't have that much time to waste. Now, less than 1,400 years remained until the arrival of the battle realm. Moreover, preparations needed to be made in advance, leaving Lin Moyu with only 500 or 600 years. Lin Moyu needed to eliminate the various races within these 500 or 600 years, achieve unification of the great world, and then concentrate all efforts on facing the arrival of the battle realm. However, with the current strength of the human race, it was unlikely to eliminate the various races and truly unify the great world. What Lin Moyu meant by elimination was not just defeating the various races but eradicating them from the great world. Only by doing so could the karma within the great world be reduced, maintaining a good state for the great world. When the battle realm arrived, they could defeat it, plunder its essence, and use it to repair the great world. With some luck, they might even establish a new path to divinity, allowing the saints within the great world to ascend and achieve supremacy. Not only the saints but Lin Moyu himself as well. Only by walking the path to divinity, becoming a supreme being, and fully repairing the Great World Rune could there be a chance for further advancement. This matter was interconnected, and none of the steps could be skipped. Eliminating the various races was a massive and complex plan that couldn't be leaked. If the races escaped to the outer domain, it would be impossible to sever the karma for the Great World, and nothing else could proceed. Lin Moyu traveled silently through deep space in a warship, leaving the human race without a sound. Except for Elder Star, the Human Emperor Network, and a few saints, no one knew about Lin Moyu's departure. Lin Moyu's actions were now strictly confidential, almost becoming the highest secret of the human race. In the central divine palace of the divine city, Little Mist, who had just finished half an hour of cultivation, suddenly exclaimed,
"Master has gone out again."
The House Saint Lord smiled.
"Yes, he's gone out again."
Little Mist tilted her head.
"Master doesn't play with me anymore. Although he doesn't make me do chores, it seems a bit boring."
Little Mist seemed to miss the busy times before. Although she was busy, it was fulfilling. Watching those people pass through trials, whether they succeeded or failed, was quite interesting in retrospect. The House Saint Lord laughed.
"Your master is too busy. He's doing great things."
Little Mist's face was full of innocence.
"What great things? Can Little Mist help?"
The House Saint Lord said,
"If Little Mist wants to help, you need to cultivate well. Only with a high enough realm can you help."
Little Mist responded with an
"Oh,"
and immediately asked,
"What realm do I need to reach?"
The House Saint Lord thought for a moment.
"The higher, the better."
Little Mist seemed to understand.
"The higher, the better? Do I need to be as high as the old master?"
This made the House Saint Lord laugh. Little Mist's old master was a heavenly lord. How could such a being appear in the current world? Interestingly, since Little Mist reincarnated into a human, her intellect seemed to have regressed. Except for retaining some memories from her time as an artifact spirit, her personality was more like a child's. Especially after accepting the memories of her body's original owner, Little Mist felt she had just become a human, in the childhood stage of the human race, and should be playing. So she became what she is now, with a mature body but a child's mind. Yet she understood everything. Sometimes, the knowledge she had was even more profound than that of the saints, and what she said could be incomprehensible to them. That knowledge came from the teachings of the Heavenly Lord, originally meant for supreme beings. However, Little Mist couldn't translate the Heavenly Lord's knowledge, feeling quite helpless. The House Saint Lord's casual remark about
"The higher, the better"
was taken seriously by Little Mist. Little Mist suddenly said very seriously,
"Then Little Mist will start cultivating too, to help Master in the future."
With that, she put away her toys and began cultivating again. The House Saint Lord and the Heavenly Saint Lord exchanged smiles, finding it interesting and wondering how long Little Mist would persist this time. Little Mist was now a god king at the 3rd level. Reaching the transcendent realm would take many years. The House Saint Lord laughed.
"Let her play."
In his eyes, Little Mist was like a junior, a very congenial little girl. Although the Heavenly Saint Lord wasn't as affectionate as the House Saint Lord, he also liked Little Mist. Suddenly, a unique aura of breakthrough surged from Little Mist, and she advanced from the 3rd level of the God King realm to the 4th level. The House Saint Lord laughed.
"Such talent, breaking through a level in no time."
The Heavenly Saint Lord said,
"Little Mist is playful, but her cultivation talent far surpasses ours."
The House Saint Lord agreed.
"Indeed."
Little Mist had been an artifact spirit for countless years, experiencing numerous teachings from the Heavenly Lord and even more from the Supreme Beings. Through these teachings, she absorbed an immense amount of knowledge and Tao rhythm. Each bit of Tao rhythm was a blessing, accumulating layer upon layer, becoming more and more abundant, making her exceptionally fortunate. After transforming into a human, Little Mist carried these blessings with her, becoming her strongest foundation. Despite playing all these years and not cultivating much, she had advanced from a true god to a god king. This speed had already surpassed most cultivators. Both the House Saint Lord and the Heavenly Saint Lord believed that Little Mist's cultivation talent was better than theirs. Just when the House Saint Lord thought Little Mist would stop cultivating, she continued without stopping, unlike before. Previously, Little Mist's cultivation sessions never exceeded 3 hours, and she would stop after a small breakthrough. This time, Little Mist seemed very determined. 3 days later, Little Mist's breakthrough aura surged again, advancing to the 5th level of the God King realm. Another 3 days passed, and she advanced to the 6th level. 4 days later, she reached the 7th level. The House Saint Lord and the Heavenly Saint Lord were stunned. 3 breakthroughs in 10 days, what kind of cultivation speed was this? Moreover, they could see that Little Mist's foundation was solid, without any instability. The Heavenly Saint Lord frowned.
Human Emperor, can you see what's going on?
Although their vision was sharp, it was still inferior to the Human Emperor network. Especially here, the power of the Human Emperor network was extremely strong, capable of monitoring every change in aura. The Human Emperor network quickly responded.
Her soul contains powerful forces. Each breakthrough releases a bit of this power.
The House Saint Lord suddenly understood.
So that's it. It must be the power of the illusory mist Heavenly Lord. Only a Heavenly Lord could achieve this.
Hiding power within the soul, releasing it during cultivation. This was beyond the current capabilities of the Great World, achievable only by a Heavenly Lord. The Human Emperor network added.
It's not just one type of power.
The House Saint Lord was even more surprised.
Is this Little Mist's blessing? More than one Heavenly Lord helped her.
The Heavenly Saint Lord sighed.
It's truly enviable. Not only does she have a deep foundation, but she also has Heavenly Lords paving the way for her.
2129 2129. Chapter 2129. Don't even think about it, we don't have that luck. Little Mist's cultivation continued. After reaching the high-level God King realm, she advanced 1 level every 4 days. In just 12 days, Little Mist stepped into the lesser God realm. A phantom law star river appeared above her head, then gradually descended to her feet. During this period, the power of the Heavenly Lord emerged from Little Mist's soul, helping her complete everything without her having to do anything herself. The House Saint Lord and the Heavenly Saint Lord were amazed, recalling the hardships of their own cultivation. Filled with bitterness and tears, they realized that the gap between people was truly vast, so vast it made them want to cry. Little Mist's Law Star River was very peculiar, something the 2 Saint Lords had never seen before. This Law Star River was hazy and illusory, as if it didn't exist in this world, unlike any other Law Star River. Other people's Law Star Rivers were filled with surging laws like waves crashing. But Little Mist's Law Star River was filled with vortices, countless vortices throughout the entire river. On the surface, it seemed calm, but underneath, there were hidden currents. Seeing these vortices, both Saint Lords felt a sense of horror, as if their souls were about to be sucked in. It was imaginable that the Law Star River Little Mist comprehended was extremely terrifying. When the Law Star River descended to her feet, a rune array suddenly appeared above Little Mist's head. This rune array was very intricate and extremely complex. The House Saint Lord exclaimed in surprise, discovering that Little Mist's soul contained a containment rune array. This containment rune array was countless times more intricate than those drawn by Lin Moyu. Needless to say, the containment rune array was the handiwork of the Saint Rune Heavenly Lord. The containment rune array unfolded, and a large amount of clear spring water gushed out, transforming into a fine mist that fell on Little Mist. The fine mist entered Little Mist's body, rapidly strengthening her physical body, quickly breaking through the God King realm, continuously advancing and rapidly approaching the soul realm. The 2 Saint Lords exchanged glances, seeing a bitter taste in each other's eyes. Needless to say, this was another method prepared by the Heavenly Lord for Little Mist. As long as Little Mist broke through to the lesser God realm, this method would activate, helping her break through. Such treatment throughout history only Little Mist had received. But it wasn't over yet. Another rune flew out, also a containment rune array. The containment rune array unfolded, releasing a vast amount of rule power. Vaguely, the House Saint Lord and the Heavenly Saint Lord saw a rule world. The rule world was extremely powerful, so powerful that its rule power made it hard for the two to breathe. The central divine palace trembled continuously due to the vast rule power, as if it might collapse at any moment. Countless formations in the palace began to operate, and the Human Emperor Network directly intervened in reality to help stabilize the palace. The House Saint Lord exclaimed in shock.
This is rule refinement. The Heavenly Lord not only helped Little Mist enhance her physical body, but also directly used the Heavenly Lord level rule world for her refinement.
The Heavenly Saint Lord said,
This blessing is even stronger than Lin Moyu's.
In this era, the only person who could undergo rule refinement was Lin Moyu, and now there was another. Little Mist was completely unaware of this, having entered a state of selflessness, following her instincts. Her whole body began to emit a purple gold light, and in this passive state, Little Mist completed the cultivation of the purple gold body. Then, she slowly stood up, eyes closed, and took a step into the Law Star River. Like Lin Moyu, Little Mist directly used her physical body to enter the Star River, merging with the Law Star River, thereby leaping into the God Realm. Once successful, Little Mist would become the second person in this era to perfectly step into the God Realm. Little Mist stood in the Law Star River, surrounded by vortices. The vortices continuously pulled at Little Mist, but she remained unmoved, her aura growing stronger, advancing towards the God Realm. Around her, there was a trace of power that did not belong to Little Mist, resisting the pull of the vortices. It was still the power of the Heavenly Lord, who had thought of everything for Little Mist. In just 1 hour, Little Mist completed her breakthrough, her body beginning to emit the aura of the God Realm. The Law Star River also gradually solidified, representing Little Mist's official entry into the God Realm. At this moment, another rune flew out, landing directly on Little Mist's forehead. Little Mist let out a soft hum, sat down in the Law Star River, and continued her cultivation. This change left the two Saint Lords completely bewildered, not knowing what had happened. If Lin Moyu were here, he would know that this last rune was the unique inheritance rune created by the Saint Rune Heavenly Lord. The inheritance rune contained a complete inheritance, which Little Mist could accept in a very short time. The Law Star River finally disappeared, and the central divine palace stopped trembling. In just over 20 days, Little Mist had advanced from the 3rd level of the God King realm to the 1st level of the God realm. This speed was enough to shock countless people. The two Saint Lords looked at each other, their eyes filled with shock and bitterness. The more they looked at Little Mist, the more they felt their own misfortune. The Heavenly Lord had been too good to Little Mist, preparing everything perfectly. It was imaginable that Little Mist's future cultivation would not be slow. But this also showed how terrifying the power of the Heavenly Lords was. Such near-miraculous methods were beyond the comprehension of ordinary people. It seemed they could create gods at will. No wonder in ancient times, gods were not even qualified to be cannon fodder. What the Heavenly Lords created at will was nothing extraordinary. The House Saint Lord sighed.
Don't even think about it. We don't have that luck.
The Heavenly Saint Lord said,
I'm not thinking about it. I'm just curious about what laws Little Mist comprehended. Just ask her when she wakes up. I'm curious too.
After about a month of travel, Lin Moyu finally reached his destination. This time, he chose a small race in the peripheral area called the White Stone Clan. In the Great World, there are 12 races, all stone-based life forms, collectively known as the Stone Clan. Because they are all stone-based life forms, they band together and formed an alliance early on. The strongest among the Stone Clan is the Black Stone Clan, which is also the leader of this stone-based alliance. The Black Stone Clan has a Saint Lord, several transcendent beings, and combined with the transcendent beings from other stone-based races, the entire Stone Clan alliance can be considered a strong race. However, it is still just an alliance, different from a single race. Lin Moyu chose the weakest among them, the White Stone Clan, which also had no transcendent beings. Arriving at the edge of the White Stone Clan's star domain, Lin Moyu retracted his worship and looked at the starry sky of the White Stone clan. Here, white planets floated, covered in minerals with few metals, mainly composed of stone. Many of these planets were taken from the human race 10,000 years ago. While taking these planets, the White Stone clan also massacred many humans. The White Stone clan was not strong, never had been throughout history. However, the slaughter they caused was no less than other races, as they killed ordinary people. The White Stone clan was generally very large, and humans appeared like ants to them, easily crushed underfoot. Weak races targeted weak humans, equally cruel.
Karma has its retribution. The seeds sown in the past must be reaped now. The demon race has set up barriers in various races, and the abyssal-eyed demons are monitoring. I wonder if they can detect me.
With a thought, a rune flew out from the treasure ship's warehouse. The rune was extremely complex, formed by the fusion of several high-level runes. The rune exploded, transforming into a mist that enveloped Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's figure gradually faded in the mist until he disappeared. 2130 2130. Chapter 2130. Upgraded Containment Rune Array.
Concealment rune.
This is not merely invisibility but true disappearance. The great world is filled with countless lines of laws. After using the concealment rune, Lin Moyu hides within these laws. His aura, his soul fluctuations, and all his movements blend with the laws. In this state, even if Lin Moyu takes action, the opponent may not be able to sense it. In the inheritance of the Saint Rune Heavenly Lord, the concealment rune is a high-level rune, second only to the Void Concealment Rune. The Void Concealment Rune is an ancient rune that Lin Moyu cannot yet draw. After using the Concealment Rune, Lin Moyu entered the territory of the White Stone clan and encountered the barrier set up by the demon race. The barrier formed a bubble-like membrane in the starry sky, enveloping the entire White Stone clan. This huge barrier was actually composed of many smaller barriers combined.
The demon race has invested heavily this time. I don't know how many years of accumulation they used.
Setting up barriers for over 100 races, the demon race truly invested a lot. The barriers couldn't be set up out of thin air and required a large amount of manpower and resources. Lin Moyu reached out and touched the barrier, then passed through it effortlessly. There was no need to adjust the power frequency because countless laws already passed through the barrier, and the barrier itself relied on these laws to exist. At this moment, Lin Moyu was fused with the laws, so the barrier naturally couldn't stop him. The barrier had no reaction and did not trigger any alarms. Lin Moyu entered the barrier and flew towards the nearest star system. This star system was not large, with only one star and 3 white planets, belonging to a small star system. The 3 planets had no distinction between life planets and resource planets. For stone-based life forms, these mineral-rich planets were the best living areas. Even a planet lush with green trees would be transformed into a stone-only planet in their hands. Lin Moyu did not sense the presence of a god lord. The White Stone clan was not strong, and they didn't have many god lords, unable to station them in every star system. It might also be because they trusted the demon race's barrier too much, so they didn't station god lords in the peripheral star systems. But for Lin Moyu, it didn't matter whether there were god lords or not. In the dark starry sky, a rune suddenly flew out. This rune was extremely complex and three-dimensional, enough to give even a god lord a headache. It wasn't an ancient rune, but it was very close to one. If the Saint Rune Heavenly Lord or House Saint Lord were present, they would recognize that this rune was actually a rune array, a containment rune array. However, compared to the containment rune array Lin Moyu had used before, this one was more refined and powerful. After 1200 years of seclusion, Lin Moyu's understanding of runes had far surpassed before. The containment rune array had been continuously strengthened and improved, now becoming increasingly powerful, even showing signs of developing towards an ancient rune. In the inheritance of the Saint Rune Heavenly Lord, it was clearly stated that any rune array could continuously evolve and upgrade. In fact, many rune arrays were very weak when first created and evolved through continuous improvement. Most rune arrays' ultimate goal of evolution and upgrade was to become ancient runes. However, the Saint Rune Heavenly Lord did not tell Lin Moyu the method of evolution for those rune arrays. He only provided the most basic rune arrays in the inheritance. How to evolve and upgrade them was left to the inheritor to figure out and do themselves. 10,000 rune masters might draw 10,000 different containment rune arrays, each with varying strengths. Every rune master had their own areas of expertise and would generally choose to upgrade and strengthen rune arrays in their areas of expertise. Just like every teacher hopes their students can forge their own paths, truly surpassing their predecessors. Lin Moyu also strengthened and upgraded the containment rune array based on his own understanding and techniques. At this moment, the containment rune array had a larger internal space and was more solid. Its internal space was like an independent world, capable of hosting a large-scale battle. After the containment rune array flew out, it silently unfolded in the starry sky, enveloping the entire star system. Then another rune flew out. This rune was a fusion rune composed of several high-level runes, called the mirror image rune. Originally, it created a layer of illusion, forming a mirage-like effect. After Lin Moyu's modifications and upgrades, the mirror image rune could create a mirror image as large as a star system. The star system was swallowed by the containment rune array and disappeared, but in the next second, an identical star system appeared. The original star system was taken away, replaced by the mirror image. On the surface, the star system still existed. At least from a distance, it looked the same. From billions of kilometers away, one couldn't see any changes in the star system. Only by getting close would one discover that the planets in the star system had stopped moving. They had become a static scene, motionless in the starry sky. In the center of the star system, a huge eye continuously scanned the starry sky. This was the abyssal eye demon placed by the demon race in the White Stone clan, continuously monitoring the starry sky. At the moment the containment rune array took away the star system, it seemed to sense something and immediately looked over. But by then, the mirror image rune had already taken effect, and it didn't notice anything unusual. Through the Shimu ancestral tree, the human high command already knew all the movements of the various races and the abyssal eye demons placed by the demon race. Naturally, Lin Moyu could think of a way to counter it. The combination of the mirror image rune and the containment rune array was his solution. From the current results, the effect was excellent. Inside the star system taken by the containment rune array, the White Stone clan members seemed to sense something was wrong but couldn't pinpoint what it was. Then countless mists rose and quickly spread.
Where did this mist come from? Our planet doesn't even have water. How can there be mist? What is this? How can there be flames?
In the mist, countless flames erupted, burning the ground and roasting life. Then, a large number of hell fiends rushed over, opening their terrifying jaws and tearing the White Stone clan members to pieces. Screams echoed, continuously resounding in the space of the containment rune array. From the moment they were enveloped by the Hell of Bones, these White Stone clan members were doomed to die, with no chance of survival. They couldn't escape, nor could they send any information outside. They could only struggle and tremble in hell, waiting for death to come. The hell fiends tore their bodies apart, and the hell flames burned them into liquid, which finally merged into the river of hellfire, becoming nourishment for it.
Too weak.
Lin Moyu watched without joy or sorrow. He had no emotional fluctuations. This was not the first time he had done such a thing. Watching death unfold before his eyes, his mind was filled with the image of his sister's stunning sword strike. The siblings, the elder sister slaying a saint lord, the younger brother severing karma. This feeling was quite peculiar.
Do what you think is right.
Repeating his sister's words, Lin Moyu knew what he needed to do now. Bullying the weak and wanton killing were just trivial matters in the face of the survival of races in the great world. Moments later, the White Stone clan members in the star system were completely wiped out, and the star system was packed up and taken away by the containment rune array. In the starry sky, the mirror image still existed, not disappearing. The upgraded mirror image rune could last for many years. As long as no one got close, no problems would be discovered. 2131 2131. Chapter 2131. It seems I need to visit the battlefield again. The first battle using runes went very smoothly, deceiving the abyssal demon eye. The demon's barrier had no effect at all, just as Lin Moyu had predicted. The upgraded containment formation and mirror runes worked together perfectly, with surprisingly good results. Next, Lin Moyu went to other star systems, using the same method to package and take away the star systems one by one. From start to finish, the abyssal demon eye had no reaction at all. The demon's strongest monitoring method was rendered useless before Lin Moyu. Once, Lin Moyu even flew past within 1,000,000 kilometers of the abyssal demon eye, and it still failed to detect him. The concealment rune was extremely effective, even nullifying the abyssal demon eye that demons had always prided themselves on. 1,000,000 kilometers is an extremely close distance in space. At his current speed, taking one step covers 50 million kilometers, so 1,000,000 kilometers is really nothing. To monitor the entire star region, the abyssal demon eye was positioned at the center of the White Stone Race's star region, very far from all the star systems. Even the closest was over 100 million kilometers away. At this distance, Lin Moyu felt the abyssal demon eye had no way of detecting the mirror runes. The reality was indeed as he thought. When he packaged and took away the nearest star system, leaving behind mirror runes, the abyssal demon eye still had no reaction. This made Lin Moyu even more at ease, and his actions gradually became bolder, with increasing speed. While Lin Moyu was taking action, the 100 Race Alliance was also gathering. They planned to launch another attack against the human race. After 20 years of recuperation following the repeated major battles with humans, their momentum had finally recovered somewhat. Most importantly, the Abyssal Demon Lord's true body had finally arrived on the battlefield 5 years ago. The Abyssal Demon Lord said he had been refining a magical treasure before, which was why he had been using his first avatar all along. Now that the Abyssal Demon Lord's true body had arrived, it meant that magical treasure had been fully refined, and the Abyssal Demon Lord's combat power should have increased significantly. Still, at the Vermilion Bird Star region battlefield, the 100 Race Alliance's army began to gather again. Several Saint Venerables who had been fighting humans in other star regions also rushed over. The number of Saint Venerables in the 100 Race Alliance increased to 5. The Demon Race had the Abyssal Demon Lord and the Magma Demon Lord. The Golden Eagle Race, besides the Black Gold Saint Venerable, also had a Dark Gold Saint Venerable who came over. The Bull Demon Race still had the Blood Bull Saint Venerable. His injuries had fully healed. Last time, he had half his body cut off by the Sword Saint Venerable, and his soul was also somewhat damaged. He had been recuperating since then, and now he had finally recovered. 5 Saint Venerables, leading over 100 Transcendents and 1,000,000,000 troops, began to gather again. The battlefield was boiling with fighting spirit. The unusual aura could be felt across several light years. The 100 Race Alliance seemed determined to get back up where they had fallen. Their actions were naturally grasped by the human race, who also began to move in response. Large numbers of troops came to reinforce. Compared to the 100 Race Alliance, the human army's momentum was even stronger. Over these years, the human race had more victories than defeats, using the various races to train their troops. Both morale and combat power had greatly increased. There were many more God Venerables in the army, with many lesser God Venerables successfully advancing to become full God Venerables. There were even peak God Venerables who gained insights during battle and broke through to become half-step Transcendents. They opened the blood path to Transcendence, using the power of the battlefield to engage in slaughter, helping themselves cross the Starry River to reach Transcendence. Years of great wars had not weakened the human race. Instead, they grew stronger with each battle. This also made the various races realize how terrifying the human race was. Many felt that since they couldn't exterminate the human race 100,000 years ago, it would be impossible to do so now. Both sides were preparing their troops and supplies, getting ready for the great battle that would erupt soon. Meanwhile, Lin Moyu had already silently left the White Stone Race and headed to another stone-type life-form race's star region, the Earth Stone Race. The Earth Stone Race was slightly stronger than the White Stone Race, but only by a little, not by much. They had a larger population and more god venerables, but still no transcendence. In Lin Moyu's view, among the stone-type lifeform races, except for the strongest black stone race, the others were all about the same. It wouldn't take much effort for him to crush them. Only the black stone race was an exception. They had 3 transcendent realm experts, so he didn't want to provoke them for now. After leaving the white stone race, Lin Moyu unexpectedly discovered that the aura of enlightenment had not descended. Lin Moyu realized that the white stone race had not been completely wiped out. A large number of white stone race members had gone to the front lines. As long as they were still alive, the karmic ties of the great world were not severed, so naturally, he couldn't receive the reward.
It seems I need to visit the battlefield again. But before that, I'll accumulate a bit more.
Lin Moyu thought for a moment, and a rune flew out from the treasure ship's warehouse. Over 1,200 years, the treasure ship's warehouse had been filled with runes, too many to count. There were all kinds of runes. Lin Moyu only needed to move his thoughts slightly to use them directly, without needing to draw the runes again. This was also one of the battle methods of rune masters in ancient times. Otherwise, with battles changing in an instant, how could one have time to draw runes on the spot? Unless one could reach the state described by the rune Saint Venerable, where a single thought could generate 10,000 runes. This was a legendary realm that even the rune Saint Venerable himself hadn't fully achieved, let alone others. After the rune flew out, it attached to Lin Moyu's forehead. A stream of consciousness was transmitted into it, and then the rune transformed into a sharp sword, flashed with a faint light, and disappeared. This rune was called the Flying Sword rune, not used for battle but for transmitting information. The speed of the Flying Sword rune was extremely fast, with almost no limit depending on the level of the rune maker. The Flying Sword rune could not only transmit one's own information but also bring back information. In ancient times, many rune masters used Flying Sword runes to communicate with each other, which was highly efficient. Compared to the human emperor network, each had its advantages and disadvantages. Lin Moyu didn't wait for the Flying Sword rune, but instead infiltrated the Earthstone race's star region again, beginning to sever karmic ties. Just 1 day later, on the battlefield of the Vermilion Bird Star region, a faint light kept flickering and jumping, entering the human camp, and then appearing before the rune Saint Venerable. The rune Saint Venerable had arrived here a few days ago, along with the kill Saint Venerable. At this moment, on the human side, there were the Sword Saint Venerable, the War Saint Venerable, the Kill Saint Venerable, the Rune Saint Venerable, and Lin Moyun. With 5 Saint Venerable level combat powers, they were evenly matched with the Saint Venerables of the 100 Race Alliance. Seeing the suddenly appearing Flying Sword rune, the rune Saint Venerable was somewhat surprised. Because of the existence of the human emperor network, people who still used sword runes to communicate were now very rare. He received the Flying Sword rune, and Lin Moyu's voice immediately sounded in his mind.
Rune Saint Venerable, may I ask which battlefield the stone-type races are located on?
The rune Saint Venerable hadn't expected the Flying Sword rune to come from Lin Moyu and was slightly surprised. But he quickly understood what Lin Moyu was doing. Indeed, given Lin Moyu's position, he couldn't connect to the human emperor network, so using a Flying Sword rune was indeed the best method. Moreover, with Lin Moyu's level of rune mastery, the speed of the Flying Sword rune would be incredibly fast. He immediately infused the information he knew into the Flying Sword rune, and it disappeared in an instant. The Kill Saint Venerable saw this and asked in a low voice,
"What happened?"
The rune Saint Venerable said,
"It was young friend Lin asking for some intelligence. I've already given it to him. How are your preparations this time?"
The Kill Saint Venerable sneered,
"Don't worry, just watch how I'll slay the Black Gold Saint Venerable."
The rune Saint Venerable said,
"Although the Black Gold Saint Venerable was defeated by the War Saint Venerable last time, that was because of the War God's spear. His actual strength is very powerful."
The Kill Saint Venerable said,
"In the past, perhaps I wasn't his match. But now, I can definitely slay him."
He turned his head slightly to look behind him. Behind him floated a faint, ethereal mist, within which cold light flickered faintly. 2132 2132. Chapter 2132. You fight yours, I'll fight mine. In the Earthstone Race's star region, the same thing was happening as in the Whitestone Race. One star system after another was silently disappearing. The abyssal demon I placed in the star region did not detect anything. The star systems looked extremely calm on the surface, but internally, they had undergone significant changes. Lin Moyu moved very quickly, taking away and annihilating one star system after another. 2 days later, a flying sword rune flashed by and returned to Lin Moyu's hand, bringing back the needed intelligence. After reading it, Lin Moyu felt confident.
So, the stone-type races have all gone to the White Tiger Star region battlefield, which is not too far. The Vermilion Bird Star region will have another great battle. Both sides are mobilizing their troops, and the battle is expected to take place in a year. Both sides have invested a large number of troops in this battle, causing the other 3 battlefields to be relatively empty. The Saint Venerables must have all left, and at most, there will be 1 or 2 Transcendents left behind. It seems I also need to take this opportunity to sever the karmic ties.
A year is a short time, and the time left for Lin Moyu was not long. Lin Moyu already had a plan in mind. He used another flying sword rune to inquire about other matters. Acting alone has its advantages. A small target, freedom, and less likelihood of being discovered. However, acting alone also has its drawbacks. No intelligence support and many things can go wrong. Fortunately, with the flying sword rune, he could quickly get intelligence from the rune Saint Venerable. After sending several flying sword runes, Lin Moyu's plan became complete. A month later, Lin Moyu left the Earthstone Race and went to the Yellowstone Race. He still acted silently without causing any waves. 6 months later, Lin Moyu left the Stone-type races, having silently wiped out 5 races. On the surface, the star systems were still intact, and the abyssal demon I did not detect anything. Perhaps because the front lines were preparing for a great battle, the attention of the various races was focused on the Vermilion Bird Star region, and no one paid attention to the rear. These people did not know that their homes had already been stolen. As the great battle approached, the intensity of the battles on the other 3 fronts significantly decreased. Lin Moyu entered another race, the Sand Race. The Sand Race was somewhat similar to the Stone-type races but also different. The Sand Race was also divided into several small races, and Lin Moyu selected a few weak ones to annihilate. The races he selected had one thing in common. Their troops were all deployed in the White Tiger Star region. After wiping out 2 sand races, he did not receive the Great World's rune reward because he did not kill all the members. Lin Moyu was not in a hurry. He left the sand race and went to another race. A year passed quickly, and the great battle between the 100 Race Alliance and the human race erupted again. On a battlefield 100 light-years away from the Vermilion Bird Star region, the armies of both sides were aggressively arrayed. Although the human race was outnumbered, their momentum could crush the enemy. Several Saint Venerables faced each other from afar, each locking onto their opponent. The Abyssal Demon Lord sneered at Lin Moyu.
Last time you killed my avatar, this time I will kill you.
Lin Mohan's voice was pleasant and crisp like a sword cutting through.
This time I will kill your true body.
The Abyssal Demon Lord laughed heartily.
Good, let me see how capable you are.
The Sword Saint Venerable faced the Blood Bull Saint Venerable again, but this time the Blood Bull Saint Venerable seemed prepared, wearing an extraordinary set of armor. The War Saint Venerable changed opponents, and the Dark Gold Saint Venerable of the Golden Eagle race actively locked onto him. The Kill Saint Venerable locked onto the Black Gold Saint Venerable, and the Rune Saint Venerable faced the Magma Demon Lord. The Saint Venerables had allocated their opponents, and the great battle was about to erupt. Meanwhile, 70 light-years away from the White Tiger Star region, another 100 Race Alliance army was stationed. Compared to the Vermilion Bird Star region, this place was much quieter and had fewer troops. A large number of troops had been transferred to the Vermilion Bird battlefield, leaving less than 1 billion troops here. Moreover, the strength was weaker, with most being God Kings, and less than 10,000 God Venerables. there were only 2 transcendents. At this time, their attention was mostly focused on the Vermilion Bird battlefield, as the battle there was crucial for the 100 Race Alliance. The last major defeat had greatly damaged their morale, and it took many years to recover. If they failed again this time, the consequences were unimaginable, and the alliance might even be shaken. After all, the 100 races had their own agendas and could not be as united as the human race. As they waited, suddenly, alarms sounded. Barriers activated automatically, and warships began firing. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Countless vines lashed down, shattering the barriers. Countless warships were smashed to pieces by the vines, and a large number of 100 Race Alliance soldiers died on the spot.
What is this? Heavens, what a big tree! Why is space sealed?
A giant tree, 1,000,000 meters tall, appeared in the starry sky. The tree appeared suddenly, without any warning. As soon as it appeared, it attacked, giving the 100 Race Alliance no chance to react. The terrifying aura of a transcendent realm expert spread through the starry sky, causing everyone below the god Venerable realm to tremble and be unable to move. Even god Venerables felt extremely uncomfortable. Many instinctively wanted to escape, but space was sealed when the giant tree appeared, making it impossible to leave.
Damn it, it's the starry sky giant tree. Why is it here, and why is it attacking us?
2 roars sounded, and 2 transcendents charged out. The starry sky giant tree swung countless vines at them. The vines shattered the starry sky, arriving in an instant, and directly knocked the 2 away. As a transcendent, the starry sky giant tree's combat power surpassed most transcendents. Only some strong transcendents could match the starry sky giant tree. With just one move, the 2 were suppressed by the starry sky giant tree, unable to fight back. Countless vines surrounded them, and their eyes filled with despair as they felt death approaching. The 2 transcendents came from different races. They were stationed here and did not participate in the Vermilion Bird Star region battle. Originally, they were lucky, as it was normal for transcendents to die in such a great battle. Last time, several transcendents died. But who would have thought that the starry sky giant tree would suddenly appear and launch a deadly attack? With the transcendents suppressed, the others fared worse. God Venerables could not withstand the starry sky giant tree's attacks, and even peak God Venerables could only hold out for a short time. Lower-level God Venerables were almost instantly killed. In just a few minutes, the entire garrison was completely scattered, and everyone was desperately trying to escape. Unfortunately, space was sealed, and now it was just a matter of who could fly faster. Mist appeared out of thin air, silently covering 100 billion kilometers of starry sky. Hellfire boiled continuously, and hellish spirits rampaged through the starry sky, with over 1 billion hellish spirits killing and devouring all the 100 Race Alliance members, leaving none alive. Lin Moyu appeared in the starry sky, watching this scene with cold eyes. He was surrounded by the aura of origin spells. He used the resurrection of the dead to revive the starry sky giant tree. With his realm, it was possible to provoke the starry sky giant tree's resistance. However, Lin Moyu had a plan. He first used origin spells to forcibly raise his realm to the peak of the God Venerable realm. In this state, the probability of the starry sky giant tree resisting was minimized. The starry sky giant tree did not resist and became a resurrected entity. Then, the starry sky giant tree acted first to see if it could suppress the 2 transcendents stationed there, and to see if there were any hidden forces. The starry sky giant tree did not disappoint him, easily suppressing the 2 transcendents. The bone hell followed, forming a deadly trap. 2133 2133. Chapter 2133. A Broken Skull. 100 million troops were slaughtered in less than an hour, becoming food for the bone hell. Only 2 transcendent realm experts remained, struggling under the attacks of the starry sky giant tree, but they couldn't hold on for much longer. Lin Moyu stood in space, and a strange aura descended. The great world's rune reward had arrived, more intense than any previous time. This reward was different from before. In the past year, Lin Moyu had eliminated 10 races, and now 10 rewards merged into one, descending together. The enlightenment aura was at least 10 times more concentrated than before. Lin Moyu knew he was about to enter an enlightenment state, which might last for some time. He quickly gave final orders to the starry sky giant tree, then took out his warship and entered deep space, flying towards the human race's star region. Just seconds after entering the warship, Lin Moyu fell into the enlightenment state. Without the influence of the Tao poison, this enlightenment was extremely effective, rapidly deepening his understanding of the laws of time and space. On the White Tiger Star region battlefield, the two Transcendent Realm experts let out miserable screams almost simultaneously, shredded by the starry sky giant tree. The space that had been occupied by over 100 million troops just moments ago suddenly became empty and desolate, permeated with the aura of death. In the distant space, a dark green flame suddenly lit up, with a demon eye within it. The demon eye revealed unbelievable terror, while also emitting a scream. At the same time, in the star systems of the White Stone Race, Earthstone Race, Sand Race, the mirror runes dissipated simultaneously, revealing the true situation of space, accompanied by the sharp cries of the abyssal demon eyes. On the other side, on the Vermilion Bird battlefield, the abyssal demon lord suddenly trembled. He roared in anger.
This is impossible.
Just as the battle was about to begin, the abyssal demon lord's sudden roar was too abrupt. Everyone looked over, and the magma demon lord asked loudly,
What happened?
The abyssal flames on the abyssal demon lord's body became even more intense, representing his current emotional state, which was extremely agitated. The abyssal demon lord spoke in a low voice, gritting his teeth.
Nothing.
The other Saint Venerables saw this and knew something must have happened. But with the great battle imminent, no matter what happened, it had to wait until after the battle. At this moment, the rune Saint Venerable suddenly laughed.
Your garrison in the White Tiger Star region has been wiped out.
Upon hearing this, the Allied army immediately fell into slight chaos. There were many in the army who had come from the White Tiger Star region, and hearing this, they all showed disbelief. The abyssal demon lord roared.
Don't listen to his nonsense. Prepare for battle.
The magma demon lord's eyes turned, and he suddenly let out an angry roar, clashing his fists together, exploding with surging flames that swept through space. The rune Saint Venerable waved his hand, and an ancient rune flew out and exploded in the air. The ancient rune transformed into a starry river, with countless waves swallowing the flames. As soon as the two began fighting, it signaled the start of the great battle. The human army erupted in roars that shook space, and numerous war fortresses launched attacks one after another. Formations intertwined, launching fierce attacks. The human race fought fiercely, disregarding defense, using force to subdue the enemy. The 100-race alliance counterattacked simultaneously, but since they came from different races, they fought individually, appearing less orderly and unified than the human race. The Transcendent Realm experts each found their opponents, engaging in battle millions of miles apart. The Saint Venerables were even further away, as ordinary soldiers could not withstand the aftershocks of their battles. The Abyssal Demon Lord once again faced Lin Moyu, but this time it was his true body.
Last time you destroyed my avatar, this time my true body will tear you to pieces.
Lin Mohan's expression was cold, beautiful but filled with killing intent.
Today I will destroy you once again.
In an instant, sword light scattered through space, immediately illuminating the starry sky.
Origin fire!
The Abyssal Demon Lord roared, and the abyssal flames on his body violently boiled, while a hint of purple appeared within the abyssal flames. The Abyssal Demon Lord's aura rose sharply, his power continuously increasing. With the enhancement of the Origin spell, the Abyssal Demon Lord's combat power at least doubled. Lin Mohan's brows furrowed slightly.
Origin power.
The Abyssal Demon Lord laughed loudly.
You have some knowledge. Later, I will slowly burn you to death, burning you to ashes inch by inch.
He took out something resembling a skull, which emitted an ancient aura, bearing the marks of time. Flames erupted from the two eye sockets of the skull, looking extremely ferocious. Seeing the skull, Lin Mohan's brows furrowed even more. The skull in the Abyssal Demon Lord's hand was an ancient treasure, and its grade was very likely to have surpassed the Saint Venerable level, reaching the Supreme Realm. Previously, the Abyssal Demon Lord had been refining it, which was why his true body couldn't move and only his avatar could act outside. He had been refining this treasure for many years and had finally completed the initial refinement. The Abyssal Demon Lord sneered.
"You're dead for sure."
Lin Mohan said nothing, simply slashing out with her sword decisively. Spell, sword/void. Sword light engulfed heaven and earth, and the nearby Saint Venerables all felt the terror of the sword light, their skin stinging. Billions of miles away, the Transcendent Realm experts all spat blood, injured by the sword light despite being so far away. Some Transcendent Realm experts were even further away and escaped unscathed, laughing loudly.
"If I had known it would be like this, I would have stayed far away from the beginning."
Those Transcendent Realm experts who were injured by the sword light were all newcomers this time. Anyone who had experience from last time stayed as far away as possible this time. Lin Mohan's sword was far more terrifying than their own opponents. The Abyssal Demon Lord laughed coldly and activated the skull in his hand. The skull immediately erupted with towering flames, and a skull at least 1,000,000 meters tall appeared in space. The skull spewed green flames, pushing the power of the abyssal flames to the extreme. The sword light was dissolved by the flames, quickly dissipating. The Abyssal Demon Lord laughed loudly.
"The treasure of a supreme, truly formidable. Is that so? A broken skull, what's so formidable about it?"
Lin Mohan sneered, suddenly pointing her sword tip at the Abyssal Demon Lord. More precisely, the sword tip was pointing at the undying skull in the Abyssal Demon Lord's hand. The heaven and earth sword hummed, and a faint light shone from its tip. Bang! The undying skull exploded on the spot, and the giant skull in space simultaneously burst apart. The flames that were originally spewing out reversed course, actually falling onto the Abyssal Demon Lord.
"How is this possible?"
The Abyssal Demon Lord was stunned for half a second, not knowing what had happened. Then, a terrifying explosion engulfed him. Boom! 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 The rumbling continued, with explosions occurring one after another. The Abyssal Demon Lord was originally enveloped in abyssal flames, and now with the new flames sweeping over, the two types of flames were completely incompatible, like cold water falling into boiling oil, immediately causing a violent reaction. The Abyssal Demon Lord screamed incessantly, clearly injured in the explosion. Amidst the screams, an illusory world appeared above the Abyssal Demon Lord's head. His rule world emerged, deep and dark, filled with abyssal flames everywhere. Abyssal flames poured out from the rule world. The Abyssal Demon Lord wanted to use his rule flames to suppress the flames of the undying skull. Lin Mohan wouldn't give him this opportunity. She took out a pill and threw it into her mouth, quickly recovering her depleted power. The sword light lit up again, accompanied by Lin Mohan's shout.
"Sword/void."
2134 2134. Chapter 2134. No wonder she dared to meditate on the battlefield. Deep in the Abyssal Demon Lord's rule world, even more intense abyssal flames erupted, intertwining with the origin fire. Along with the flames from the exploding undying skull, they formed a three-colored blaze. The three-colored flames were beautiful, but unfortunately incompatible and unable to harmonize. Continuous explosions caused the Abyssal Demon Lord immense pain. Screams and roars intertwined, forming an extremely strange sound. At this moment, Lin Mohan's sword arrived. Sword energy swept through space, shattering the entire area. Even the chaotic flows in deep space were annihilated by the sword energy. This sword transcended spatial boundaries, shattering space and directly striking the world barrier, causing it to flash with light. The Abyssal Demon Lord shrieked as magical treasures flew out from his rule world one after another, transforming into boundless demonic realms in space. For a time, demonic aura boiled over. But it was useless. Wherever the sword light reached, demonic energy was extinguished. Magical treasures shattered in space one after another, unable to withstand it at all. The abyssal demon lord retreated rapidly, using his rule world as a shield. The rule world is a Saint Venerable's strongest trump card, a killing move only used in desperate situations. This power is unmatched, and using it as a shield is extremely effective. Sword energy struck the rule world, immediately causing large cracks to appear in the abyssal demon lord's rule world. Countless abyssal flames poured out, enveloping hundreds of millions of miles of space. Space was dyed a dark green color, looking extremely bizarre. Nearby transcendents watched this scene in shock, feeling that if they were in that sea of fire, they probably wouldn't last long. But Lin Moyu stood in the sea of fire, completely unperturbed. She held her sword intent radiating and forming a sphere of light that protected her from any harm. Sword light flashed as Lin Moyu struck again. The sword's momentum was terrifying, parting the waters and splitting the sea, forcefully cleaving the sea of fire in two. Another scream rang out as the sea of fire exploded, abyssal flames blasting in all directions. The transcendents' faces changed drastically as they shouted,
"Quick, run!"
Even a tiny bit of the abyssal demon lord's abyssal flames would badly burn them if not kill them outright. Lin Moyu could ignore it, but these transcendents couldn't. They fled as fast as they could. Lin Moyu destroyed the sea of fire with one sword strike. Her gaze remained calm as she murmured,
"They ran away quite fast."
The abyssal demon lord had fled, escaping extremely quickly and pathetically, without even having time to fart. At this moment, Lin Moyu reached out her hand, and several drops of blood flew over, landing in her palm. These drops of blood contained immense power and looked like black ink. Though the abyssal demon lord had escaped, he was still injured. This was his blood. Lin Moyu put away the blood, her gaze cold.
"Next time I will definitely slay you."
After defeating the abyssal demon lord, Lin Moyu did not move, but closed her eyes to meditate instead. Though she had struck several sword blows that looked effortless, in reality her power was almost completely depleted. The other Saint Venerables who were still fighting all showed shocked expressions. They never imagined the abyssal demon lord would be defeated so thoroughly and quickly. Originally they had hoped the abyssal demon lord would kill Lin Moyu and then come help them. Now it seemed the situation had completely reversed. Fortunately, Lin Moyu did not move after defeating the abyssal demon lord, clearly having exhausted too much power. The magma demon lord, who was fighting the rune Saint Venerable, suddenly roared angrily. His body violently exploded. Magma avatar. His body split into three. The main body continued fighting the rune Saint Venerable, while the two split-off avatars flew rapidly towards Lin Moyu to kill her. The magma demon lord wanted to kill Lin Moyu while she was meditating. In the Saint Venerable's eyes, no matter how strong Lin Moyu's attacks were, she was still only a transcendent. Without a rule world, killing her shouldn't be difficult. Although the magma demon lord was not particularly fast, he was still a Saint Venerable, so his speed was not slow. The rune Saint Venerable coldly snorted.
"I expected this."
An ancient rune flew out, overtaking the magma demon lord's avatars despite starting later. The ancient rune transformed into a world, becoming 6 powerful warriors who blocked the magma demon lord's avatars. Though the 6 ancient rune warriors were not as strong as the avatars, they outnumbered them and could hold them off for a while. At this moment, a black gold light suddenly appeared silently, traversing billions of miles of space to arrive beside Lin Moyu. The black gold Saint Venerable had arrived. It wasn't his main body, but an avatar.
"Watch out!"
The kill Saint Venerable's angry roar came half a beat slower than the black gold Saint Venerable's avatar, only ringing out now.
"It's too late."
The rune Saint Venerable's eyes narrowed sharply. He hadn't expected the black gold Saint Venerable to suddenly sneak attack. He could see that the sneak attacker was one of the black gold Saint Venerable's magical treasures. This magical treasure could transform into the black gold Saint Venerable's appearance and possess part of his battle power for a certain period of time. At this moment, a long spear suddenly appeared beside Lin Moyu. The war god's spear abruptly materialized, blasting back the black gold Saint Venerable. The black gold Saint Venerable was torn apart by the war god's spear, turning back into a magical treasure that flew back. The war god's spear also flashed once before returning to the war Saint Venerable's hand. Holding the war god's spear, the war Saint Venerable looked like an ancient war god. His expression was icy cold as he said,
"Sneaky tricks are nothing."
The dark gold Saint Venerable he was fighting coldly snorted.
"You'd better worry about yourself."
He exploded with dark gold light. A golden eagle appeared in space. Its wings spread to tens of millions of meters. The golden eagle flapped its wings, shooting out countless golden lights. Each beam of golden light was like an arrow, extremely sharp and capable of destroying stars. The war Saint Venerable had just expended significant energy to send the war god's spear across space to save Lin Moyu. Facing the golden eagle's attack, the war Saint Venerable swallowed a pill. The war god's spear hovered above his head, forming a defense. With the war god's spear in hand, the war Saint Venerable was not afraid of the dark gold Saint Venerable. However, the dark gold Saint Venerable's strength was somewhat greater than the black gold Saint Venerable's. The two were evenly matched. At this point, neither side had brought out their rule worlds yet. It was not time for a desperate fight to the death. Suddenly, the sword Saint Venerable called out,
"Be careful."
Among the myriad golden lights, some suddenly changed direction and flew towards Lin Moyu. These golden lights gathered together, forming a slightly smaller golden eagle. By the time it was noticed, it was already at point-blank range. The rune Saint Venerable's eyes bulged, but it was too late for him to intervene now. The kill Saint Venerable's body turned ethereal as he activated his rule power. He flew towards Lin Moyu at an astonishing speed. With his speed, he might be able to save Lin Moyu. A cold laugh rang out as space suddenly brightened, enveloped in gold. The kill Saint Venerable's form materialized. He could not move stealthily through the golden light. The black gold Saint Venerable coldly laughed.
"Your opponent is me, Kill Saint Venerable. We're not done fighting yet."
The kill Saint Venerable waved his hand, and a pitch-black world appeared behind him. He had brought out his rule world. He was ready for a desperate fight. The black gold Saint Venerable did not want to fight the kill Saint Venerable to the death. He flapped his wings to retreat, but suddenly his expression changed drastically, and he let out a miserable scream. A huge wound had suddenly appeared on his wing, nearly severing it. What was terrifying was that he had no idea where the attack came from. The kill Saint Venerable coldly laughed.
"Then I'll kill you first."
The golden eagle arrived in front of Lin Moyu, stabbing towards her like an arrow. Lin Moyu was still meditating with her eyes closed, seemingly unaware. At this moment, the heaven and earth sword let out a clear ringing sound. In an instant, heaven and earth were inverted and space reversed. The golden eagle immediately lost its bearings. Right in front of Lin Moyu, it suddenly turned and flew upwards. At the same time, a sword light descended from the sky, directly striking the golden eagle and destroying it. The heaven and earth sword rapidly rotated around Lin Moyu, firmly protecting her. Seeing this scene, everyone was shocked.
A magical treasure with sentience, automatically protecting its master. No wonder she dared to meditate on the battlefield. So she was relying on her magical treasure. What kind of sword is that? Its power seems immense. It must be at least a Saint Venerable level magical treasure.
2135, 2135.